Oh my.
Welcome to Simply 15, a 15-minute podcast. Today we're going to do something a little bit different due to a couple days ago we had some news of somebody passing away. Not her, not him.
Not him.
And some people would rather be him.
He's behind the microphone.
Today we are going to talk about Lethal Weapon, the series. Probably if you were to take the top 10 movies from all three of us, Lethal Weapon would be on there. And we're doing this because of a particular director. Richard Donner has passed away at 91. I know we had talked about that on the podcast a couple months ago. How
he was 90.
How he's getting old.
91, I think is what he was.
He's old, and then
Good God, man, good life. Yeah, I don't. Yes. I know you. This might make your job a little harder to edit, Justin. But if you can just add some saxophone somewhere in here,
there'll be saxophone.
Sprinkle it in.
I'm gonna be the saxophone this whole thing.
Matt, do the Jewish saxophone.
I'm gonna be the Jew sax. What's the Jew sax?
I'm so cheap.
Hey, we can't talk about this guy right here. We can't talk about Lethal Weapon without the Jew sax. This guy right here.
It's true.
Well, Sugar Tits, what do you think about Lethal Weapon? I think Lethal Weapon is one of the all-time greatest franchises from Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will fight people on 4, and I will fight people on 3.
4.
I think
3.
Look at this. Yeah. I'm Die Hard guy. You know I'm Die Hard guy.
We all love Die Hard.
We all love
it's a different type of film.
Die Hard has a weaker franchise than Lethal Weapon.
Oh, it got worse.
Well, it went Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, and then everything else sucks.
Die Hard 3.
Lethal Weapon was consistently good.
Die Hard 1, in my opinion. I don't know. I might be in the fucking.
You're a Franz guy. You're a Franz.
Die Hard 2.
Lethal Weapon knew when to quit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know there was talk recently about Donner doing
racism and xenophobia.
A fifth film.
Bigotry kind of had something to do with that.
But I don't. The fourth one ended so well. You know, it really put an end to the whole entire series on a high note. So
would you say that's one of the best fight scenes out of the whole quadrilogy?
The doc?
That fourth fight, the Jet Li fight scene. He's talking about the Jet.
That's fucking solid, man.
That's one thing I like about the franchise. We're comparing it to Die Hard because those are pretty much the quintessential action 80s movies. But Die Hard or Lethal Weapon 4 did not lose its edge, even though Riggs had a character arc from being a psycho to being a family man. Mm-hmm. That fourth fight scene is as brutal as the first fight scene with him and Gary Busey. And it's Jet Li. That might be the most brutal Jet Li fight scene I've ever seen.
My word for the whole thing is set piece. It's fucking set piece.
Ooh.
You had every fucking movie. You had a great set piece, a great fight set piece. Lethal Weapon fucking 1, you had Gary Busey and Riggs. Lethal Weapon 2. You didn't really have a fight scene. I guess Murtaugh.
Oh yeah, you had him with the guy.
Murtaugh in the house. You kind of had that. Lethal Weapon 3. I guess you had
the bloodiest of all.
The bloodiest of all fights. But it was also.
And I believe was actually the script doctor on that. Does anyone know? Princess Leia.
What's her name?
Carrie Fisher went on there.
I believe, I could be wrong. I believe that's a trivia that she didn't have her name attached to it, but also she helped.
She was doing a bunch of scripts at the time. So
he doctored up 3.
Part 3, I think, was the funniest.
What's the first one you saw? Because I saw 2 first. I saw 1 later.
I saw 2 first.
I saw 3 first.
Wow, you saw 3 first. You're one of those people.
Well, 3 was it was the most approachable. It was like, it's kind of funny. It's got Rene Russo. And dude, back in the day, Rene Russo.
Back in the day. Dude, now, I'll date Rene Russo.
Hey, you saw Justin looking down earlier? I'm looking down right now. I'm like,
he's not looking at you. He's looking at Rene.
Rene Russo was fucking bout it. And she was bouted in that, and then she was fucking bouted in goddamn Get Shorty. It was like Rene Russo was
Thomas Crown, of course, yes.
Thomas Crown, you got to see the biddies in Thomas Crown. She was bearing the lead for the first 2 films. And Thomas Crown was like, fuck it, I'm going all in for McTiernan, and good for her. So he goes, brings her back around to fucking Die Hard.
So, Matt, your word was set piece. Justin, what was your word? I'm sorry.
Well, what was your word?
Yeah, what is your word? Sugar tits.
I'm sugar tits. No, I'm gonna say insane, because you have to be insane to think the bad guy from The Color Purple and the crazy Australian guy from Mad Max Fury Road would make almost the quintessential buddy cop movie. Because I was alive, I'm older than you guys, but I remember Starsky and Hutch and Cagney and Lacey. This was the first time I'd seen a cop pairing like this. Yeah,
the Ben Stiller movie?
Remember that show?
Not that Cagney Lacey.
But I had never seen the 2 weeks from retirement and all that stuff. That was Lethal Weapon was the first time I had seen that. I may be wrong; it might have happened before. I mean, there was The Odd Couple, but this was The Odd Couple with guns, which is fantastic.
They want to kill each other or want to kill themselves. There was a scene in part 1 where he was like, "I'm going to kill myself." You don't know why. You really don't know why. It's like his wife. Something shitty happened to his wife. He was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah, there's good. As a series, it's a good character arc for all the characters in the series. I think it's one of those very few series that actually have a good arc. I mean, it's either they're too bloated with too many movies, or they add too many characters, and they just don't focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a series that has added characters throughout each movie, but the group stayed somewhat solid, with 1 or 2 being added here and there, and you still had the focus on your leads, your 2 leads,
and great villains throughout. Again, compared to any action franchise you're talking about, you're starting off with Gary Busey and the guy that
Mr. Joshua and
Danny Glover.
Guy
he's
like,
barbecue. That guy.
Mr. Joshua. He went like.
You have Ava.
His neck had to get in shape.
The old guy from the Mighty Ducks. It's the bad guy.
Still alive, by the way.
Oh, still alive.
Still kicking.
Josh Ackman.
Then you got the guy from Mask of Zorro or Mark of Zorro, whatever his name is. He was the bad guy in part 3.
Yeah.
And then you end with Jet Li. End with Jet Li, one of the greatest martial artists of all time.
It was like prime Jet Li too.
Oh, like right.
Man. That
right
was like Romeo Must
from,
Die, Jet Li.
Not before Romeo. This was like him just coming over like from China, saying like, "I'm done with China. Fuck this. I'm gonna be the new Chow Yun Fat." They could have imagine having Chow Yun Fat in fucking this movie, in these movies. Jet Li was way better because he was like,
Riggs.
"I'm gonna." But Chow Yun Fat, he's better with guns. Jet Li's better. Like,
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna fuck you up with these fucking fists and these fucking feet.
Riggs is pretty good with a gun. He shot out a helicopter with a gun. That's pretty good.
Haven't we all? I feel like we've all done that.
He's more fast than he is better with guns.
Not Fast and Furious though.
Well,
it doesn't have family behind him.
Yeah, well, this is truly a series about family, and it ends on that note. This is what. Yeah. It ends. I mean, it ends with the crew's family photos.
Okay. They fuck you at the drive-thru, okay? They fuck you at the drive-thru. They know you're gonna be miles away before you find out you got fucked, okay? They know you're not gonna turn around and go back. So
I like the Joe Pesci interaction.
Come on, Pesci.
Because I think the first one that people forget is dark as shit. Like there is some like Matt mentioned.
It begins pretty dark.
It's dark and it's fucking Vietnam shit going on. Like these are the bad shit. This is the fucked up shit that happened in Vietnam. People came back from Vietnam. We're fucked up. I was in Laos killing fucking people in the rice fields and
Charlie
shit like that.
And all this other shit.
Yeah, it's like this is fucked. And it had the guy from fucking Halloween 3. Fucking what's his name? Tom.
Yeah, that's the fucking bad guy for the first one. The one with the.
Well, he's not even the bad.
He's not the guy from Halloween 3.
No, he's not even the bad guy. He's like the.
No, yeah, he gets shot with the milk cart,
Roger.
right?
Roger, you owe me.
The milk cart.
He gets shot by the fucking. He gets killed by fucking Mr.
Gary
Joshua.
Busey pops into the fucking missing one, the label on a milk cart.
Yes, that's one of my favorite kills. He's like, "Oh, my milk is pouring out."
You can't cry over it. You didn't cry over it. Danny Glover didn't cry over spilled milk.
No, and this is. I mean, honestly, my one word to
finally we get
might be too easy, but it is absolute classic.
Layup,
yeah, right, just there. A classic. I mean, honestly, you come with an incredible masterpiece of a first film to follow up with a second one that's even it meets and sometimes goes beyond the first one. You
it
know,
ends on that cliffhanger kind of.
It's that Godfather. You know, oh, The Godfather. It's a great movie. Godfather 2.
Right.
Is it better? Is it?
Dude, it's Riggs. What's Riggs saying in part 2? He's like, hey Roger, I'm not a cop tonight.
I'm not a cop tonight.
I'm not a cop tonight. It's like, what the fuck? And even Riggs, what Roger's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
this happened. Even his reaction is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you can't get more badass than this series. And then I think 1 and 2 go hand in hand perfectly for a nice double feature. And then
I think that's where it was supposed to end. Wasn't Riggs supposed to die?
Yeah, to die. Yeah.
Like,
and
hey,
they came,
we need more money.
When they came back with the most darkest sequel probably of all time. I mean, just the amount of bodies that are dropping and
fucking cop killer bullets, man. That was the first thing I ever heard. Cop killers. Like,
there's a thing sometimes where I'm like, you know what? Like, I want to watch Lethal Weapon, and it's weird. It like depends where I'm in, like a state of mind and whatnot. Like I'm like, ooh, I can go 1 or 2. I could go 3, or I could go 4, and that there's almost like a different type of flavor, but yet it's really tasty. No matter how you go with it, it's actually really
it's like
good.
A fucking bag of Skittles. You don't care what fucking flavors in there. I'm gonna eat every fucking goddamn circle of it.
I didn't do any research on this, but I'm going through all the cop movies in my head, you know, and I just think this one is the most consistently good.
Well, this started a whole bunch.
Beverly Hills Cop dropped off.
Yeah.
This was the beginning of a whole new chapter in filmmaking where honestly you have incredible actors, an incredible director, and wonderful screenplay.
Mr. Shane Black.
And the music. I mean, the music.
Eric Clapton, fucking the saxophone.
George Harrison.
Part 2 has the best fucking music. I mean, part 1's great, but part 2 had, it's like, we're going to bring the fucking heat.
Yeah.
And I own the vinyl for fucking.
Whoa, easy there, hipster.
It's fucking.
Easy there, hipster.
I want to fucking lay back and be like, like I'm imagining the like fucking Mel Gibson just blowing me right now.
Every time Matt goes to jerk off, he pops in that album.
I do this. I just pop in and blow out. That's how good it is right now. It's like,
it's got a cigarette.
I miss you so much. I'll see you soon, but not
Pulls
yet.
the curtains close. Little smoke coming through with the light shimmering.
Hey, I'm just like, nailed them.
Nailed them both.
That's jerking off again. Very classy.
Boom. Just been provoked.
I gotta go back on you, Matt. The fight scene between Riggs and the guy in part 2 is gruesome. That's when he gets stabbed with a knife in the leg. And he has to pull the fucking knife out.
He looks like fucking capoeira shit going on too. Like I didn't know South Africans can get down like that, but good for them. Good for them.
I'm gonna finish it off with, there's not much we can say about a perfect franchise. It is a classic in my eyes. I will watch these movies till the day I die. It will never go old. I think a lot of people will agree with that. I don't really think there's many people out there who would disagree with Lethal Weapon. But with that said, we are celebrating Richard Donner, and who has a career that started on TV, did a whole bunch of shows, and went, Man from U.N.C.L.E., Gilligan's Island, Lethal Weapon, Assassins, Maverick, all the way to 16 Blocks, and of course, The Goonies.
Yeah,
man. Superman.
Superman started off the whole comic book movie.
Ruined everything. Comic books.
Did it all. He really started off.
His filmography is tip top. It's tip top.
Absolutely.
There aren't a lot of problems with his filmography. You might be able to find a few, but go fuck yourself.
Yes. And to take a page out of Star Trek, I think we should start doing a little tribute to those who we have lost, to absent friends. We might not have known him, but we grew up with him. And without him, we wouldn't be here today, honestly. So, to Richard Donner.
We probably still will.
Donner.
But you know what? The fucking Dickie Don.
Dickie.
Dickie Donnie.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Oh, man. I have a drinking problem.
You have a drinking problem? Have you met me?